Welcome home, neighbors, to episode 331 of the Mighty VC Points. Actually, it's this is going to be 332, Ron, but we edit all this out from the real podcast anyways, because we're doing our pre-show countdown so that everybody can get the notification that we're live. And we do this little pre-show chat thing that says, when are you going home next? We started to get away from it because we quit doing the community hall live shows, and people just started chiming in with it. So we'll just ask the question here and we'll come back in and go, when are you guys going home next? And give everybody, a chance to get notified that we're going live. And unfortunately, we can't stream to our Facebook groups anymore, which we've spent 5-6 years building, 20,000 people across our Facebook groups. And now we can't even stream to them anymore. So I can just share the YouTube link and hope that Facebook sends it over to them. And we do stream to facebook.com on our page, but there's really not a lot going on there. We've put all of our effort into the groups. So, Ron, I've done a little bit of homework for us right now, and I've got our stuff lined up here. So let me just kill the banner here. And you got your first cruise ever, and it's on the Disney Dream.
It is.
In 8 days?
In 8 days. Next Monday, we take off, and on the Disney Dream, we'll be heading down to Fort Lauderdale to get on there. My first cruise ever. It took me 56 years and 2 weeks to get on one. Just turned last week. So, hey, at least I got one, right? We're going on the Dream here in 8 days. And then, not to be outdone, it looks like you're going to just go ahead on the other coast and jump on a boat, huh? Or ship. I'm sorry, ship.
Yeah. We've got the Disney Wonder is our ship, nice. And my DVC Points meet up. So we've got about 4 or 5 families that are coming on the cruise. I know Gina's coming, Cindy's coming, Robert's coming, and we had a couple that had to bail on us just to rearrange some money and make some other things happen. Mm-hmm, but yeah, it's a short little 4-nighter out of San Diego, and it's going down to Catalina Island, I think Baja, Mexico, a day at sea, and then back to port. And it was on the one which I really wanted to do, and then we signed up for the Magic, and I guess I should put this on the list. So
there you go.
Yeah, we'll get to it then. Okay, it'll be the last thing on the list, but
there you go.
And then I'm 60 days out from my international whirlwind tour of the Asia parks.
Nice.
And we'll be kicking off at Shanghai Disneyland, and then going up to Beijing and doing Universal there, Tiananmen Square, Great Wall. Wow. And then we've got a flight down to Hong Kong on Cathay Pacific. And we'll be spending a day at Disneyland Hong Kong, because I'm told you can knock that park in and out in a day. And there we're staying at the Disney Resort.
Ooh.
Right there at the deal. It's kind of like their Wilderness Lodge version. So I got to compare, because I just left Copper Creek tonight, and our buddy Caleb is in town, and I was over there hanging out with him and his family, and we had a little dinner action at Geyser Point, which never hard to get me to go over there.
Can never go wrong at Geyser Point.
So then after, coming in, sleeping, getting up a day at Hong Kong, and then we're going to go sleep at this resort there that night. So afterwards, we'll get up the next morning, and we've got a direct flight over to Tokyo, and we've got 3 days in the park in Tokyo. And then I have a direct flight from Tokyo back to Detroit. And I'm doing this trip with my best friend of 30 years, and we're celebrating 30 years of friendship. So
how cool is that?
Yeah. And my family did not want to do any of the Chinese parks. So they were like, Shanghai, Hong Kong, we're out. We're in for Tokyo. My wife's been to Japan before and can't wait to go back. And I was like, I'm already here. I might as well kind of knock it out and do a little preemptive visiting, because she's been there once and I haven't. So this is just fair, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And guy math, that's fair. Yeah. And then you got 122 days to your Riviera stay.
I do. I'll have 7 days. Is it 7 nights? Whatever. Riviera, and then Grand Flow. We'll be down there with Jackie. Obviously, my daughter and the grands will be down there. So Viv and Audrey will be down there. We'll have my brother from Nebraska with his 2 two little boys. First time we're going with them, so that'll be great. They're hopefully they're going to enjoy it, and yeah, it's going to be. Maybe we'll get together and bake some cookies in the Grand Flow, Chad. Get that
There you
tradition
go,
back
man.
here because
You
we'll
know,
have the room.
hey, you book the villa, I'll bring the cookie dough. So that's the way
Let's
that
go.
works.
Let's
That's
go.
the way that works. And then you got a New Year's Eve cruise on the Treasure, man. Like,
Yeah, this is a pretty special one. This one, it's going to be Jackie's whole side of the family again, kind of like we went down in 2015. We're going to be going on the Treasure. They think there's going to be 20 of us all total, taking a nice seven night cruise on the Treasure for New Year's. We'll be on the sea. I can't wait. I hear from never having cruised in my life to taking two in less than a year. I think I might have the hook in me, Chad.
I was going to say, we're going to like get you hooked around, and next thing you know, we'll be booking cruises together. So
I'm in.
I'm telling you, it's DVC is good, but these cruises are like next level.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah. What I love about it is like you can plan them with people, and there's all different kinds of things to do on the ship, but yet you all have the same start date and end date to your vacation. And you all have these major things in there, and you come to dinner together with your
there you go.
Your family every night. So y'all can like go split up, do your own thing in the day, come to dinner, compare notes, and then I'm in, man. I'm completely in.
I'm looking so forward to it.
And okay. And it looks like we don't have any comments. But if you guys are going home, when are you going home next? So I hate having that banner up over ours, but yeah. And then let's see. I've got the Magic booked. The Magic in Alaska. It's the first time the Magic is going there is in 2026.
Nice.
And so over 4th of July week, myself, a couple other people I know are going to that. So
there you go.
Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to that one as well. And
sweet.
So I'll be going home on the Magic, and it'll be my family's first cruise unless I can sneak them onto something this summer. I'm hoping. I'm hoping with some cast member friends that have said, hey, if your family's here this summer, maybe we can sneak onto the Wish for a 3-day one. And
there you go.
That'd work out well for me because then I only have to take, Friday off work.
Right.
And then you get kicked off the ship at like 7:30, 8 a.m. On Monday, but I'm an hour drive back to Orlando and I'll just come into work. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm like, be a little bit late for work that day.
Nice.
Hey, to be able to pull off an extra cruise on the Wish, I'm in, man. I'm in.
Terrible. How how could you think of that?
I mean, it's and the best news about it is I can be honest with work about what I'm doing too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have to like
That's
sneak
awesome.
this. That's pretty awesome. And
that is sweet.
So let's see here. Was it AKSR?
AKSR.
I don't know how you'd even say that, but
Axer.
Okay, Axer. That'll work.
Axer.
That'll work. May 21st, Polly and Bay Lake Tower are our homes, and it'll be a visit to Polly this trip. So
Axer, you got to let us know. Are you in the tower? Or are you in one of the originals? We got to know.
Yeah, because I finally went over to the tower like sometime end of February. Amazing.
Okay. You see now,
we have to do a show. I haven't. Life has been so crazy for me here recently. I'm just now getting back to doing some of the live shows.
Yeah.
We gotta. As a matter of fact, I promised the Patreons we would recruit for a showdown of the bougie, right? Like Poly Tower versus Grand Flow versus Riviera, and kind of like line up the teams and have a little debate going on. So
you better watch out because two of those are within grenade launching distance of each other. So take it easy with the battle.
Yeah, well, we'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. It's
yeah. I'm only kidding.
Yeah. And then it looks like our buddy Nick here has got Grand Cal in 67 days. And then he's beating me to no, wait a minute. I'm beating him to Tokyo.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Yeah, I'm beating him to Tokyo because I'll be there about 50 something days before him. But nice. I'll leave it in good shape for you, Nick. How's that sound?
Hey, leave him something to find. Give him a treasure hunt to go on. Give him a little scavenger hunt, a couple items there.
Yeah, that will do. We're staying off property on that one at the Hilton, which
Okay.
and I wish we were staying on property, but yeah, it was just like it came down to a budget thing. And my buddy has got diamond status with Hilton right now. So he
Oh,
was like, while I have my diamond status, I
yeah.
want to stay at the Hilton
Yeah.
and get into the lounge and all the little like free,
Sure.
stuff that comes with diamond status. And I was like, well, how can I deny that? This is a whole
Kind of
point
a
mile trip.
no-brainer, man. Kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, we're hitting it pretty bougie on that trip too, with Delta One flights and you know,
Wow.
doing business class to and from Hong Kong. So yeah,
Drinking your tea with the pinky up on that trip.
I'm telling you, actually, like laying down and sleeping on that flight because these are lay flat deltas. So, but that was more of him being Delta Diamond and some point and mile magic on that one as well. But Kim's tuning in. She says 61 days till Animal Kingdom Lodge.
I love Animal Kingdom.
And then Axer, I guess, is he's in the tower. And
nice.
yeah, and see, Nick has to outdo me because he's at the Miracosta. And yeah, yep. Dude, I could go over there and just, I'm a DVC guy, right? So I'm gonna go over there and just spend like maybe arrival day checking out the Disney resorts.
Duh.
Like it's just, the Toy Story one just looks amazing, and it has its own little entrance into Tokyo Disney Sea.
Nice.
So I'm gonna be kicking myself for not staying there. But I think what it'll do is it'll either make me get some Hilton cards and bank up a bunch of points to stay there with the family, or really just save my pennies so that we can, go all out at the Toy Story rooms at the new resort that's over there and check all that out. So one of the two things will happen there, Ron. I don't know at this point in time which one.
Something good's going to happen. It doesn't matter what. It's going to be something good.
Yeah, that it is. So, okay. Asker says we're doing a split stay for the first time. Tower for 5, Animal Kingdom for 3, and Boardwalk for 5. So that's a 3-way split.
Counting a 13-day trip there. That's a beautiful thing.
And you're like going to some of my favorite resorts. So
without a doubt.
You can't go wrong at Animal Kingdom, and
Boardwalk,
the tower is just amazing and beautiful. And like I am so sold on that tower. I'm not sold on the point charts, Ron.
Okay.
Like the point charts are like
I was looking at them, but I'll tell you real quickly, and I know we'll get into it, but the tower, I think the 2-bedroom was very, very similar in points, the 2-bedroom theme park view to the Grand Flow Grand Villa. It was very close, which to me was like, wow. Wow.
Yeah, the penthouse there.
Yeah, the penthouse. Yeah, the penthouse theme park view.
Yeah, you could get a penthouse that sleeps 8.
Mm-hmm.
8.
I think it's 8. Yeah.
Yeah, or a grand villa that sleeps technically 12, but you could probably fit 14 in there, no problem.
Well, not that anyone would ever do that.
Yeah, not that we would ever do that or anything. Not us.
Everyone's on the reservation.
Yeah, everyone. It's all on the up and up, right? And
man.
He's saying he's got Savannah view and Boardwalk view, and most excited for those.
Axer, and you better stop giving information. You're gonna have Chad knocking on all your door every resort you go
Take
to.
me in. Take me in.
Oh man.
It is a few minutes drive, Ron. I ain't gonna lie.
I know. Okay. I'd have to get on a plane.
Hey, just because I do that for you when you're here doesn't mean I'm gonna do it for him.
Gotcha.
And Caleb and Gina.
Gotcha.
Okay, like half the team when they're here. But that's another story. Okay.
That's story for another show.
Yeah. Story for another show. Okay, let's come and take down our banners, get this set up. And editors, we're gonna start this show for real right now at about 14:30 into the show. Welcome home, neighbors, to episode 332 of the My DVC Points podcast. We are recording today's show live, so we're going to try to work in some comments from our viewers. And if you haven't subscribed to us live, please do so over at youtube.com/MyDVCPoints. But before we get into today's show is brought to you by our friends over at DVCResaleMarket.com. They are the world's leaders in DVC resales. Every single one of their guides is a former Disney Direct guide, And what that means to you is you can buy a resale contract and get that same level of Disney professional services without having to pay the Disney price tag. If you don't know, when you buy resale, you're really just buying your contract from another member and you're stepping in right where they let off on the contract. So if they had 25 extra points this year that they didn't use, you're going to buy that contract with those 25 points. If they've banked points, you're going to get it with the bank points. But life happens. Like, this is supposed to be the membership we never outgrow. And lo and behold, life happens. Death, divorce, disability, all kinds of things happen, or people just, they get tired of going to Disney. And I talked to somebody this last week where they've held on to the contract all the way through. Their grandchildren have hit college years and they don't want to go anymore. And they're like, well, at this point in time, I'm 30 years into this and the grandkids don't want to go. And I don't think I'm going to be around for great grands to take them. So we're just going to sell the contract. And so it might not be vacations that you never outgrow, but life does happen. And that's where it happens in this. There's a DVC circle of life. When you buy resale, you're picking up a contract from another member at a huge savings over what Disney does sell it for direct. So our friends at DVC Resale Market can help make that connection with you, and you can buy a contract from another member at a fraction of the cost from Disney. So that's resale in a nutshell. I know I bought resale, Ron. You've bought and sold as well.
Yep.
And it's worked out well for us. I mean, we have been partnering with those guys for probably 5 years now or more. And it's just always been a great experience. So
I just want to throw in, Chad, you threw in all the bad reasons why people might sell, but then there's the good reasons, like, oh, I want a different resort or more points at another resort. So you sell one to buy a bigger one. So let's not make it all negative here.
Yeah. Okay. That's true too. Right.
That's what I did.
People do home resort switches and, it's like, ooh, well, I really want more of this. And so I'm going to sell 150 to go buy 300.
There you go.
Yeah,
do it.
Do it. Yeah. Yeah. Adonai is speaking to you right there. You heard it. You heard it. Anyways, in today's show, we're talking about a benefit of buying direct. And that is my favorite benefit out there. It's Moonlight Magic. And what this is it's Disney Vacation Club's marketing department, like DVD, Disney Vacation Club Development. And as a marketing tool, they come back in and they lease out the theme parks for an entire night. And, Disney's different from other timeshares. Like, Disney came back in and they, look down Orlando and you see booth after booth after booth, sign after sign. Come on in. We'll give you discounted theme park tickets, whatever. And it's a timeshare pitch, right? So you got to sit through this pitch and then they'll go, okay, here's your $50 tickets to Disney. Well, DVC kind of flipped the script on this and they said, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to rent out the entire theme park and, like corporations do, but we're going to give the tickets away to our existing members. We don't have to sit through another timeshare pitch. We've already sat through it. We've already bought in. We've got our 150 direct points. We're good. And Ron, I've probably been to 15 or 20 Moonlight Magic since 2017.
Yeah, that's lucky.
I mean, I used to make special trips for them. And now that I'm here in Orlando, I can come back in, or I've got a listener that's in town that has an extra ticket and they'll invite me to come in. And it's one of my favorite things to do, to just come in and hang out with our DVC members. Right.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I've done everything in the parks 50 million times.
Yeah.
But it's hanging out with the DVC members and that kind of a deal. So recently, we're talking at the last Moonlight Magic registration, Disney changed their methods. And so the way it used to work, the best strategy was to come back in and open up a tab in Chrome, open up a tab in Internet Explorer, open up a tab in DuckDuckGo, open up private tabs, open them up on your laptop, your work phone, your personal phone, your work laptop, as many different tabs and devices as you could have. And then you would come into the site and at 11 a.m., they would all get assigned a different number. And then that number would be, you'd go into queue. And from there, you would see your spot in queue. And we used to get an actual number and then The time before last, they switched it to an estimated time before you're getting in, and you didn't know your real number. So you had to keep all of these tabs open, and one family could have 10 or 12 tabs. And so this last time around, Disney came back in and they changed it. And I think it's for the better, Ron.
I would have to agree. Overall, I think it's going to be way more beneficial. I think.
Yeah, because now if you try the multiple tab tricks, the first thing it does is says, hey, put your member number in. And as soon as you put your member number in, they all get the same position in queue. So there's no benefit anymore to opening up multiple tabs. And that's a good thing, because think about this. If every member that's out there had 10 or 11 tabs open, okay, instead of, let's say there's, 10,000 people doing it and we all have that, now there's like 120,000 tabs out there, 120,000 places in queue, right? And then you've got to wait for people to close out their tabs because they've got multiples, and it was just too much. As much as I liked it, because I could see tabs that would, register in at the 10,000, and I could get them that registered in at like 200. Well, if I'm number 200, I'm getting in. Okay. If I'm 10,000, it's not a snowball chance you're getting in, Ron.
Yeah.
Like it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
And so now you put your member number in, and then you get into queue, and it doesn't do you any good to try multiple tabs.
No.
So why I think that's good is it's going to make the line move faster. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you're not going to be able to kind of game the system anymore.
Right.
And it was good while it lasted, but I really, truly think DVC did the entire membership a solid by coming back in and saying, okay, we're going to get your member number first. We're going to validate you that you have an existing on-site reservation.
Correct.
Or if it's open registration, we're going to validate that you have enough points direct to be entitled to this opportunity. Right. And then you're going to go into a queue.
Yeah.
And I think that's the good thing, Ron. I mean, as much as I hate it because it really enabled us to benefit from this.
Yeah.
It's better for members. And how can you argue anything that's better for the general membership?
Yeah, I would tend to agree. I do think it's going to be better. And I do still think there are ways they can continue to improve upon even that. So the only thing I would say is I have there is a Moonlight Magic at Epcot when I'll be down there in July. Pre-show we were talking about, I'll be down there for the July 17th Moonlight Magic that's at Epcot, and I'm hoping to get in, obviously.
Yeah.
But my thing for that is I am going to be right there at 11 o'clock on one browser, and I'm going to have Jackie on another browser. We'll both try to get in because one of us might be a little bit quicker. One of our connections might be a little bit quicker. So whichever one gets in first, or whichever one gets the, whoever gets in first will get the better position more than likely, unless it truly is.
No, you'll get the same position because it'll be the same.
No, but I'm saying we'll both get it, but one of us might get there, a fraction sooner, and maybe that will make the difference. You see what I'm saying?
Maybe.
Or maybe it'll screw me because it's looking for two of them.
I was going to say.
I mean, maybe I'll just let it ride. But that was a thought I had. But after that, close one of them because you've got whoever's going to be willing to wait for it. Yeah, you got your spot.
You just have to wait for it. I know my family's going to be down here as well. And it's the day before my daughter's birthday. So she specifically asked, she's like, Dad, I know you don't like using points for us to come to Walt Disney World, blah, 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 blah. Please, it's my birthday.
Yeah.
Can you get us a room at Animal Kingdom, Savannah View, even if it's just a studio? And I'm like, you're killing me, kid, but okay.
But of course.
Yeah. So of course I did. And, then I started to realize, hey, well, the next night is when we really want on the Disney Wish. Maybe we can find a last minute deal or a cast member friend that's willing to go with us. And so I didn't book the second night for him, but I did do the first one.
Gotcha.
And we're keeping it no matter what. If we don't get into Moonlight Magic, we'll be sad. But you know what? We're still keeping the reservation because they want to stay in Animal Kingdom and check out the Savannah View. And you really can't see the Savannah View at moonlight time anyways.
No. But I'd rather be sad at Animal Kingdom than anywhere else, right? If you're going to be sad.
Well, I'm like,
There's worse places to be sad.
Yeah,
One other
wipe
thing,
up my
yeah,
tears with a little Sanaa bread service is all I got
yeah.
to say. So
The only other thing, Chad, I was thinking when I had touch base with you at the last registration, and you were telling me about some of these changes, because there are multiple events that are being attempted at the same time. I wish when you put your member number in that they also asked you which event you were trying to sign up for. I think that could streamline the process even better.
yeah, well, they should know, right? Because they should know which one you have, unless you've got both of them for some odd reason, right? But they should know which Moonlight event you're gunning
Oh,
for
because of when you're
because they
registered. I
know,
see.
right?
Yeah, yeah, because they're not
They
the same time. Yeah, I got
you
you.
know, they should
Makes sense.
absolutely positively know this. And at the same point in time, I'm like, why are we doing all this at the same time anyways? It's just
You're
like it's
right.
because the Lagoon ones, people aren't really that crazy about. Although
Right.
I think it's the best Moonlight
I
Magic
was at
do
one.
now.
It was awesome. I was at one. One of the two
I
I was at was Typhoon Lagoon.
Yeah, and it's awesome because you don't normally get to go to Typhoon Lagoon
Right,
unless you buy the hard ticket night party at
right, right,
Typhoon.
right,
And we get the same exact treatment that they get for that night party. We just don't have to buy the tickets.
right.
So I mean, it's the same dance party, the same Mickey
Yep.
bars, the same treats, the
Which
same, right?
if
And
we
for my
pause for a second, yeah, that dance party and the way they do it for people who
Mhm.
maybe don't think that's a great thing, man, it's incredible. Don't shortchange yourself if you ever get a chance to do that. That's amazing. Sorry to jump in, but that can't be ignored. That's a great party at Typhoon Lagoon. Great
it,
party.
it it certainly is. And what my family loves about it, Ron, is
Mhm.
they're from Michigan and they're like, they're not in the Florida sun all the time.
No,
And
I'm in
so
Chicago, man.
it's when they're here, they're like, Laura's like, oh my God, I got to worry about the kids and sunscreen
Yeah.
and this and this and this and this and this. And I'm like, ain't no sunlight out. Like it's moonlight, baby. Like you ain't getting a moonburn here.
Moonburn. Hey,
So
that's a good topic. Moonburn. Like a
yeah,
band
there's no
name.
such thing as a moonburn here. So yeah, you don't have to put all the sunscreen on and all of that. And it's just a really great time to go to the water park, especially
Yeah.
for people like if you've got sun issues or you just don't like sunscreen or whatever. It's a phenomenal time. It's now my favorite Moonlight Magic event. After this February at DCA and some of the changes that they made out there, I'm now
Oh,
ranking, our Typhoon Lagoon one higher than DCA. And DCA
wow.
is my favorite park, so that kills
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
But I mean, they've kind of cheapened up the food vouchers out there to the point where it's almost worse than Walt Disney World because you don't know what things can be used for. And Walt Disney
Wow.
World, you just know it's a snack credit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Huh.
But out there, it was like you were lucky to just find a hot dog for,
Yeah.
to use a voucher on. So,
Yeah. It's no good.
yeah. So
It's no
that was
good.
not a change for the good. Okay. The
No.
registration changes, I think, are for the good. And now I want to come back over to my next suggestion is I think this needs to move to a tiered system based on how many points you have. So that Moonlight Magic registration open up early, the same way DCL opens up early based on your DCL status. So if you've got 150, okay, you're a general, you're a blue card member, you DVCY, you can come into this.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've got 300, 500, 1,000 points, there should be extra opening windows here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, and I'm sorry, but if you have 1,000 DVC points, that means in today's dollars, you've dropped over 200 grand with Disney Vacation Club.
Yeah.
You ought to be getting a concierge. Like your guide ought to be like saying, hey,
Yeah.
let me, do you want a Moonlight Magic registration? I'll
You
tap a
better
few
be
buttons
strapping your
here.
wristband on.
Yeah, I'll tap a few buttons here. And dude, you've got a concierge level service that's, you don't have to go fight for this and wonder if you're in because you've dropped 200 grand with DVC. This is a sales and marketing event.
Yeah. Yeah. And just to clarify, Chad, you're talking about direct point purchases, not if you buy
Yes.
another 500 in resale, because none of those dollars go towards the Moonlight Magic events, none of the dues, none of any of the other costs that
No.
are associated. That is specifically if you buy direct DVC points, you are 1000% funding Moonlight Magic as a direct
Correct.
purchaser. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So that's what I'm saying. If you've bought 1,000 points at
Mhm.
Disney prices direct,
Yeah.
you're 200 G's into this, right?
Skip the line.
Where's where's the fast pass for Moonlight Magic registration, right? Where's the loyalty for this that's here? And I've had conversations with the people at Moonlight Magic, and they're
Mhm.
like, "Well, we're limited as to how much we can do because of this." Da, 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 da." You're not giving them anything else. You're just giving them advanced registration.
Right.
It's no different. Okay.
I mean, make
So,
the yeah, I'm sorry, make the tier where it's substantial, right? If 150 is the entry point, make the tier maybe twice that for a day in advance. And if you've got 500 or more direct, you get maybe another day. If you've got 1,000,
mhm.
man, you should just get invite. You should get an invite. You shouldn't get a link to try to get the log in.
Yeah,
You
you should
should
have
get
a
a damn
concierge or something.
gold invite.
It's just, I don't know. To me, that's one thing that DVC is lacking in, and it's rewarding those who have bought more than the
Yeah.
150 direct.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm sitting on what, 525 direct now,
I gotcha.
and I've sold off most of my resale because that's
Yeah.
what I sold because
too.
I'd make the most money to get cash back when to buy the house here in Orlando.
Hmm.
But and then since then I sold off 200 points of Grand Cal that were
Yeah.
resale, and I bought 200 points at Disneyland Tower because I
Mhm.
knew it was coming up and I'd have the opportunity to buy it.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
anyways, it's where's the loyalty for people who have really showed the loyalty to you, Disney?
Yeah,
Like,
I again, I got you beat by a couple points, so I'm right on your page. I like that
yeah.
idea. The direct
Well,
points anyway. Yeah.
the other problem that we're facing with this, right? Because I think Moonlight Magic started coming out in like 2015, 2016, sometime in
Uh-huh.
there. And since then, at least here in Walt Disney World, we've built more and more and more
Right.
DVC
Right.
resorts. We've converted more hotel rooms over to
Mhm.
DVC, right? You've got now all of the cabins at Fort Wilderness. You've now got, since 2017, you've got the Poly
Riviera.
Tower, you've
Mhm.
got Riviera, you've got an additional building
Cabins.
at
Grand
Grand
Flow.
Flow, right? You've had all of Copper Creek open up and the
Man.
cabins there in 2017. So it's like you've had quite a few more rooms added to inventory.
Oh yeah.
But what hasn't changed for the most part is how many people can fit inside a theme park when they book it for Moonlight Magic.
That's a good point.
And we're not even booking Magic Kingdom at this point in time,
Right.
which is
right.
our largest park with the largest capacity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I look at this and I go, well, that's part of the problem here, guys, is you've expanded out the reach of this,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not really expanding out, the size of the party at all. Cause it's they're already packed. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to
Yeah.
complain about the packedness because I want
Mhm.
more members in. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
And before it was we wanted to have this as a limited thing and, skip the line this. No. You guys put enough cool stuff in there. If you're into
Yeah.
rides, there's people that are lining up for the free food. There's people that are lining up for the rare character meets, the dance
Mhm. Mhm.
parties. There's enough variety inside your
Yeah.
parties that it's like if you're a ride person, you can get on the rides. Okay.
Oh yeah.
But most of us come all the time anyways, and we're not all that interested in the rides because we can come back with a lightning lane and hit the rides. And we are coming back multiple times a year after year.
Mhm.
So it's like, oh, I can meet Tarzan and Turk. Oh, I can meet Pain and Panic. Oh,
Right.
well, I don't know. See them in the park. Okay.
No, you never will.
No. So that's why there's all these huge
Mhm.
lines for the rare characters as well.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my take on it, Ron. And, we'll
Yeah.
catch up with some comments here as well. And so, Mark is saying, hey, can I still watch here and interact? Yes, Mark, you're
Absolutely.
always welcome with us at any time. And for those of you who don't know, Mark was, he bought into Copper Creek about 2017, the same time I did. We've kind of grown up together. And, the average length of membership, 7 to 8 years. Mark hit that point. Life happened and he needed to sell. And,
Mhm.
I hate it, right? But it doesn't change our friendship, Mark. And what an awesome member of our community you've been for the whole time you've been a member. And we hope your life situations turn around and you're able to come back. So, and so Andrew was saying, was thinking about the complex and competitive nature of Moonlight Magic helped convince us to just go resale for our first contract, as the savings outweighed the perceived value of the member benefits. That's not, you can't deny that logic. Okay.
No, not even a little bit.
Because why would you get into the craziness when for just like 120, 140 bucks a person, you can buy a ticket to a hard ticket event and make it Mickey's Not So Scary and have it be themed and everything else, which is quite honestly way better than our Moonlight Magics.
Yeah, right? Yeah, without a doubt. And if I could touch on that a little bit, Andrew, I'm with you. And there's other benefits as well. And Chad has touched on them in some of the series that he's done when you're purchasing DVC. One of them, and I bought resale first by design, because once you're a resale member and you're a resale member for a long enough period of time, you can purchase direct points at a lower level, a lower entry point than the 150. So if you want to start adding a little bit at a time, those direct, if you wanted to ever purchase direct and try to get those benefits, but as it makes sense for you. So that's one good reason. But the perceived benefits, I touch on that a little bit. They're not perceived, they're real benefits, because one of the ones, the annual pass, getting the Sorcerer's Pass availability for me, being an out-of-stater, but coming pretty often, that's a pretty good benefit for me.
That saves you $500, Ron.
Exactly.
Per person.
So that's a real value for Jackie and I, and hopefully for many, many years to come. Some of the other things that we're able to do as a direct member. So there are benefits. The savings certainly will outweigh the benefits if you don't maximize the benefits that are available to you. And especially if you're never able to get into a Moonlight Magic. I mean, it would take a heck of a lot of Mickey bars. Would you do that one comparison, Chad? How many Mickey bars to make up for the savings?
Oh, yeah. If you go over to our website, mydvcpoints.com, and go over to the Resort Wiki, we'll tell you what we thought, was the latest resale price and the latest direct price. And we'll break it down as to how many, on 150 points, how many free Moonlight Magic Mickey bars you have to eat. And right now, I think the last I saw at Alani is, because it's selling under 100 on resale and it's crazy. 225 direct.
Yeah.
On 150 points, you have to eat like 3,500 Mickey bars.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, but dude, like my waistline,
no, I hear. See this right here? It's growing by the day.
But you have to roll me out of there, Ron.
Yeah. One other one that I was going to say was, I do like the ability to be able to use the points at any resort, and with the restrictions that have been put in place in terms of the Rivieras where it started, obviously the Disneyland Tower, and then cabins are part of that trust, which we don't know what that is yet. But at this point, we don't know, right? We don't know how that's going to work out. But I do want to know that any future resort,
manufactured if they do, value, Ron.
Correct. It is. It is, but I don't have to worry about restrictions. So. But I don't have to worry about it. That's my point. I don't have to even think twice if it's and quite honestly, that's why there's always availability at Riviera, in my opinion, because most resale only members can't book there.
Yeah.
And if you look at Riviera's availability, it's usually much better than outside of Saratoga, Old Key West, Animal Kingdom. But for one of the premier resorts, it's usually a little bit easier to book at some busier times.
Well, that and the Sky High point chart.
And the points chart, of course, but Grand Flow don't have a problem over booking.
So, yeah, that's true. Grand Flow is pretty hard to get these days, right? So, but it's also on the monorail, Magic Kingdom Resort.
There's other benefits.
Lightning doesn't shut down the monorail, right? There's
not yet.
Yeah.
Blown tires, though.
Yeah, blown tires, maybe. Okay.
Yeah,
definitely on that. Monorail's not perfect by any stretch of the imaginations, but this is Central Florida. Hello, our hockey team is the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Exactly. It's not by accident.
Lightnings all the time here.
Yeah.
Okay. And
I just wanted to make sure to point that out, though. For me, there was a benefit in doing that, and it was it was plausible for a lot of people. The best and only way they can get in is resale. And I'm not saying that's the case in Andrew's case, but for a lot of people, it just does make more sense because they're not too concerned with the direct benefits. And if you weren't concerned with direct benefits, by all means, geez, don't even think about direct at that point.
No, and if you're a
saving
family that
ton.
only comes like banks and boroughs and only comes every other year,
Yeah,
annual passes are a moot issue for you, right?
absolutely.
So that's off the table.
Yeah.
And the chance of a Moonlight Magic during your one event.
Right.
And then the other part of it is there's enough of us direct members that you can befriend that have extra tickets, or our family members don't want to go or whatever. You can sneak in with one of us. Like I'll put it to you this way, Ron. You know, they want you to bring non-members into this event because it's part of the marketing.
Sales. Yeah. It's sales.
It's part of the marketing. And I know I've got some podcaster friends in Disneyland that usually come with me.
Yeah.
Every single time I do this, they speak highly of DVC, highly of the event, and it comes out in their content, and they're more of a general Disney audience. And, you know, it's the influences, DVC's getting their money's worth. You know what I'm saying? It's good vibes and good marketing. And so, for us to bring in non-members with us, cool. Come on over.
Yeah. It's like all the merch. I mean, you're wearing all your Disney merch, whether you're at Disney World or whether you're at wherever you live. And I mean, what are you doing? It's all free advertisement for Disney. So
yeah. And then, you know, Rigboard points up, you know, entitlement. So
in what context?
Yeah, I mean, it could be a little bit. There are some people that think they're entitled to this, and if I don't get it in what is it, the July Epcot event, you know, I'll be sad. My family will be sad.
Sure.
But we all have annual passes, so we're just gonna, like, you know, not go to the event that night or get kicked out at 9:00, right? I mean, and not get the free Mickey bars, right? So or the snack vouchers. Okay,
right.
I mean, we're still here, you know what I'm saying? And we're still coming and going. So it's not that big a deal. Now, I do have to come back in and give this one key tip as well. And it always happens for Moonlight Magic. And anytime there's a Moonlight Magic event, you need to fill out your DVC reservation. So if you have a 2-bedroom, or if you have a grand villa that'll hold 8, 9, or 12 people, you need 8, 9, or 12 people on your reservation, so that's how many tickets you can, you know, select when you get in to register for Moonlight Magic. And the reason why is very simple. It's like, you're always going to have a friend that's going to be here, or, well, at least we do in the community, because we, you know, we're a fan-based community and we network, and, you know, we know when each others are coming down. Like our pre-show countdown today is like, that's really good about us networking and who's going to be here and planning trips together and things along those lines. So having more tickets to give away, the better. If you don't want them, don't pick them up, leave them. And, you know, the cast members will give them away to somebody else who didn't get a reservation.
Right.
So, cause I've seen that happen a few times as well, where people have just been, hey, I wasn't planning on being here. Here's my blue card. Is there any way I can sneak in on one ticket? And I've seen them do it. Not that I would 100% expect it, but it wouldn't be unheard of. Wouldn't be unheard of in the least. But let's not be entitled about that either, because it could be, you know, no, we're done. We're out. Right.
Right.
And then might as well give an advantage to membership Magic purchasers. That's another thing. If you spend the $99 on, you know, this membership Magic extras, maybe you give them, you know, a day in advance to come back in and do this. I guarantee you'd sell a lot more of that $99 membership.
Right. Yeah, that I again, call it entitled, call it whatever you want, but $100 for something that you're going to benefit if you specifically use a photo pass one time, or if you ever use one-time use points, you're going to more than make up the cost of the membership Magic, is a whole lot different than paying 6 figures for direct DVC points. So Yeah, I don't agree with that. There's a lot of benefits to membership magic. I wouldn't tag that on as one of them unless
No.
they raise the price exponentially, because it's not an apples to oranges comparison. Not even close.
Eh, I look at it like that $99 is more there to pay for other benefits and perks
Right.
than it is anything else. And I did find out from somebody as well, like the character meet at Epcot is after the Epcot lounge closes. That was never
Right.
clear to me.
It's in the evening.
It's in the evening after
Mhm.
that closes. And I'm going to be on Caleb's reservation at the end of the week. I should
Cool.
probably try to pop over there and check that out and at least cover it on the show and maybe do a live from it if I could or something along those
Be
lines
cool.
and do a little bit of content on that because I'm sure other members out there would love to know what's going on with that as well.
Yeah, just being to
But
be up in that lounge in the evening because it's always closed at 6 o'clock. So just getting to see the park and things, up there while it turns dark. Obviously, it will close before fireworks. You're not going to get Epcot fireworks in the member lounge, but hey, it's cool. It's another perk. But as a consummate one-time use point purchaser, like almost always, the points just never seem to be enough. So I'll take 24 points for the price of 12 that I already paid for the membership and then some. And then I get the photo pass for a 30-day period. That those two things alone, again, you've already made more than if you're not going to use those perks, don't get it. Just don't pay for it.
yeah, that's it. That's it. I'm looking forward to getting on the priority wait list over at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Because I have to imagine that's going to be nutso to get into when that lounge opens up.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't look very big,
Not at all.
and it's Magic Kingdom and demand is going to be sky high.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, having that preferred deal. Now the bad news is as a local, it's not going to work for me. Like it says I have to be staying on points.
Mm-hmm.
And what I have to figure out is, do I have to be staying on my points or can I be staying on Caleb's points?
Right.
So, let's split hairs here and figure out how they're going to implement that. So
If it's open in July, we'll find out. I don't know if it'll be open by mid-July. Hopefully it will, but if it is, we'll find out.
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Has the priority wait list kicked in at Epcot yet?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But I haven't been yet. So
yeah. I know you have to pay for the extras to get up to the character meet after 6.
mm-hmm. That I have.
So, yeah. So, okay. Well, I mean, this is our hot takes on Moonlight Magic, guys. If you have any more comments, leave them on the historical YouTube video here. And, we'll be perusing through the comments after the live and picking up what people say and just kind of interacting with everybody on this one. But that pretty much wraps up today's show. Ron, do you have any other final thoughts on Moonlight Magic here that we didn't get in?
No, I think we covered everything pretty well. I again, hopefully we'll get in the one here in July. And again, if I don't, I know I'll have an opportunity for the next one. And it's just a great perk that certainly I love the ability to even be able to attempt it. So that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, it's my favorite perk for being a DVC member, but hands down. And my favorite part of it is I get to come back in and point out to non-members to go, look how DVC flipped the script on this.
Yeah.
We're different from all of the other scum timeshares here in Orlando. This is one example of it. Yeah. We actually have resale value. We actually have, people demanding to rent our points when we can't use them. Constantly. And I get paid good money from the sponsors to create ads so that rental, resale, and Monera to finance them. So between DVC Resale Market, DVC Rental Store, and Monera Financial, huge shout out to them in our kind of our wrap up in a little bit of an unconditional way. But that's what makes DVC so awesome. Yeah. Is there's a lot of demand of people who want to stay on Disney, want to stay in our timeshares if we can't. And when we're done with it, there's people that want to line up and buy it. And the resale market, even though it's a buyer's market right now, is still light years ahead of all of the other. They drain a swamp, they pop up a timeshare that nobody really wants, and there's no demand for it afterwards, that you see all over Orlando here.
Yeah.
So it's really just not even a comparison. It's those guys are like, hey, you know, I want out of my contract, and you pretty much have to pay somebody to take it from you.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
in DVC, there's
People lining up to buy it from you.
yeah, there's, you know, a good amount of people that are there. And when the average contract is gone in less than 30 days, and I can't even do a segment because I started saying, hey guys, when you list your contract, let me know. I do a monthly show on this to talk about, you know, what's going on in the resale market. And I will highlight your show and tell your story and try to help you find a buyer.
Yeah.
I've yet to be able to see one of those contracts make it till I record the show, Ron. They're gone. Like,
you want to know how people value them? There's contracts that will expire in 17 years, and they're still getting a pretty good chunk of change for those contracts. So that's how good they are. Yeah, that's how good they are. Now that we'll see when that script flips, but for now, they're still doing pretty well.
Yeah. So anyways, guys, that's our hot take on Moonlight Magic, and leave a comment down below with your thoughts on this. We'd love to hear from you. And as always, thanks for tuning in. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to our Patreons as well. If our content has been a benefit to your family, consider joining us on Patreon and helping to offset some of our expenses from the show and do little cool things like I was able to do for Caleb tonight. I mean, his family, Caleb spends a lot of time as a Facebook moderator in our group. And it was really nice for me to be able to come back in and go, hey, Caleb, tonight's dinner at Geyser Point, this one's on the podcast team. And, you know, our Patreons have got you. They appreciate you. They appreciate the awesome community that you help build here on Facebook. And we were able to just, you know, pay for dinner for his family. So little things like that. It means a lot and it goes a long way. So thanks, everybody. We'll be back next week with another show. And as always, Ron, thanks for tuning in and co-hosting with me and keeping me like sane here, at least agreeing with me and disagreeing with me at times. So
it's always a great time, Chad.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Take care.